It's on again. Glenn Stewart and Adam Blasio.
All my youngest memories are of rugby league and around that. You know, playing footy with Dad in the backyard, watching games, Origin, all that stuff. It's a big part of my life. I started playing when I was 7, played for 11 years, playing school footy, club footy.
Great mates, and it's because we're great mates that we're such a great football team. So whatever happens today, we get out there and play for each other. If a mate drops the ball, it's okay, mate, come on, we'll get into him. Okay? We help mates. That's what we're all about. We're the greatest mates. What's our war cry today? No. Tell me what, how will you run today?
High school was unreal. Like, we had a School of Excellence Rugby League, so it sort of brought guys together from all over the coast and created this sort of bond and brotherhood. In Year 8 they made this decision to put us all in the same class, and it was chaos. That changed real quick in Year 9.
The Rugby League Excellence program was to give young boys on the Sunshine Coast an opportunity to be playing that level of football. From right at the start, we tried to understand each other. We tried to respect each other, where we'd come from. I think all young men crave respect. I think that's the one thing, you know, we want out of life, respect. We want to, you know, we love to think that our mate respects what we do. And in rugby league, you get that respect because you're out on the paddock here. You've got to play tough. You need to play with courage. You need to be football intelligent. All those things we're reliant on each other, but it's not until you play and you get into those tough moments in a game that we understand something about each other. And then your mate understands about you, and he knows that, yes, you are there for him, you really are there for him. So that's where you build those terrific bonds and those relationships. And you build them on the training paddock first. You know, after training one night, he turned to me and he said, Dad, you know, I'm not going to make it, eh? And these are the points that you need to be honest. I know we often talk about you can do anything, but quite frankly, you can't. There are parameters in life. You can try to be what you want to be. You can give everything you can. That's the real part of this whole thing, the journey. And we can continue to love the game. And not everyone's going to play NRL. And if your dream now changes and you're going to move to another direction, that's fine. You know, we'll do that together.
I played A grade in 2008 when I was 18. It was at that point where I sort of realised that once everyone started getting bigger, that I didn't even bother trialling because I just knew that, you know, I just wasn't going to be able to compete at that level. Although, you know, this was my dream, it just wasn't going to work out. People in the refereeing business sort of said that I had a chance to sort of progress and had a chance of getting to the top, so I thought, oh, I'll have a crack at this. It was hard because I've got, you know, all my mates are all rugby league orientated, and seeing them still sort of playing together or playing in different sides, but you know, I got the opportunity to referee a few of them as time went on, and you know, that was something that was, I was sort of like, I wish I'd be playing with them, but to still be out on the field and refereeing them was, it was still enjoyable, yeah.
This group, you know, who grew up playing together, they get together still.
You know, we might have not seen each other for years and stuff like that, but when we get together, it's like, you know, nothing's changed, and we just say how different our lives will be, and some openly say that they'd be drug addicts, and some even say they don't even know if they'd be alive without that program, yeah.
And we've had some really tough times with that group, you know, we grew up with, but we've had some beautiful times. And I think sharing all of that together as a group, and the mateship in rugby league is what it's all about. We learn to rely on each other. If I saw a story somewhere or read about a story or heard a story that I thought was, you know, in some way could help them develop, I would tell them the story. We'd share the story, and we would share stories about each other, how we'd grown up, what we were dealing with, how we were coping, how we could help each other, how we could support each other. And then when we lost James Ackerman, my goodness, we had to be there for each other then.
Hundreds of people have gathered to farewell rugby league player James Ackerman, who died following a tackle during a match on the Sunshine Coast.
day will stay with me forever. You know, your mate that you've played footy with since you were 11 is there, and 4 minutes in, they've just scored off a kick-off. He gets hit in a big hit, and the crowd goes up, everything happens, and he's left on the ground and he's unconscious. And after a certain amount of time, you know, he's not waking up and he's struggling to breathe, and they're hitting his chest and things like that. And then your attention sort of thinks, oh, is this more serious than what you first thought? And then after that long period, the doctor's there, and then they say they need an ambulance, and then that's when it just became surreal that this was happening on a league field. Seeing his mum there, who you know I've known for so long, and just sort of hugging her, and that's when, you know, the emotion got the better of me.
So all those things we talked about, all those little stories we told each other, all those times we'd reminded each other of how important it was going to be for us to be there for each other. This was the moment. And we lose our mate playing the game he loves, and Tyson's refereeing. That was a powerful time in our lives, and that group came together and they supported each other, and they supported James's family. They grew as people, and this whole process, this whole game of rugby league, was the thing that kept them together.
His words to me as that last game actually when I was running on was, "Don't be shit today, Bruffy." And that's just sort of character he was. He just sort of would always have that banner, and that's sort of stuck with me. That's my mantra now, I guess, is just don't be shit today.